predates the MDP predates the SDGs, and so we have come a long way. But I have a little issue about the way things are going. When we started the movement, a lot of opportunities for cross-institutional collaboration, moving from Asia to Africa to Europe and all of that. And we were also able to take our students along. I remember in the first 3, 4, 5 years, we were taking our students on field trips in many African countries. We actually went as far as Japan on 1 or 2 occasions. Now, these are becoming very difficult, maybe because of the global crisis and also the limitation in funding. I'm hoping that in the course of this meeting, we can discuss this and see how we can go back to what we used to do. But once again, I want to thank Jeff and Lucia for what they're doing.
I think it would be wonderful if we had suggestions of how to have students working together across the campuses, more exchanges, group projects, and so on. Funding can follow good proposals, and we can certainly work on trying to mobilize extra funding for some innovative ideas. But Labode, I really like that thought, and would love to get some specific suggestions and see what we could do to put them into operation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I see a hand by Namdi, and there's another question in the chat. So Namdi, let's take your question, and then we'll go back to the chat.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Jeff Sachs, for your great insights, as always. I am the Global Chair of the Student and Alumni Advisory Council. The question is, what is the status of the SDGs post-COVID? Is it still exacerbating? Is it still going worse? Or is it better now? And what can the MDP community of students and alumni do to accelerate progress towards the SDGs? At what point of need does the world need MDP students and alumni at this time?
Wonderful, wonderful question. The SDGs are a valid agenda absolutely in crisis right now. So the last 3 years have been regress, not progress, and things are still getting worse. They're not getting better. The pandemic was clearly a global disaster, also a major loss for the SDGs, but even worse now, we're in an intensifying geopolitical crisis right now. We can't achieve the SDGs in a world of war. Maybe the news we got yesterday, which I haven't had time to read about in detail or process, but the fact I read the headlines, at least, that the war in Ethiopia is stopping, at least for the moment, and that the two sides have called for a halt. Maybe that's a very important piece of good news. We need to do the same in Ukraine urgently. We need the fighting to stop and the dialogue to start, and to stop talking about we're going to defeat you, because actually there's no way that Ukraine is going to defeat Russia, because Russia has 1,600 nuclear warheads. And so we're playing with the worst kind of fire imaginable right now, and we need a completely different approach. The SDGs will not be achieved by 2030. And this raises a deep question. It doesn't make the agenda less valid, it makes it more urgent. But we've lost a lot of time. The United States my country, not doing at all what it should be doing. By the way, it's one of 5 countries that never had a voluntary national review on the SDGs, only 5 left. And it's the US, South Sudan, North Korea, Yemen, and maybe one other, and the United States. And this is dreadful. So I feel it in our country, terrible irresponsibility of our governments in this regard. So what to do. What I'm working for the Secretary General on right now is to try to promote much more and more urgent financing for the investments for the SDGs. We call it the SDG stimulus. And I'm on my way to COP27 and to the G20 next week and the week after, exactly on that agenda, to raise the amount of financing available to governments, open up more fiscal space for SDG investments. Second, there will be a meeting at the UN next September, which will be the mid-review of the SDGs. And of course, the review is not going to be a happy occasion because we're not on track. Now, the worst would be to say, oh, forget it, we're not going to make it, forget it. That's the opposite of what we should say. We should say that we need urgently to reorient our national actions, to end these wars, to upgrade investment, and so on. There's a third issue, which is a delicate one, but I think quite important, and that is that the SDG agenda is really an agenda to mid-century, not just to 2030. So I'm hoping that next year we make clear that the SDG agenda doesn't end in 2030. It takes us to mid-century. But I don't want it to be done in a way that says our homework's late, so we're going to turn it in 20 years later than we thought, because that also is quite demoralizing. But what we have to find is the language to say, look, this is our generation's work, achieving sustainable development, and we're going to be with it for a while, but we have to intensify greatly our efforts. And I think it would be great to canvass our alumni, to ask what are they doing with regard to the SDGs, what would they like to do, and what kind of suggestions do they have for how to upgrade the SDG agenda. Maybe they're working in companies, maybe they're working in a city government, maybe they're working in an international organization, maybe they're working at a national government. But I think we could get a lot of insight by asking our skilled alumni body how they see the sustainable development goals, and with specific ideas of what kind of acceleration is possible, what kinds of things could MDP as a global consortium do, what could the alumni do? That would all be extremely helpful. I see I have a Zoom in 5 minutes, so let me take one more question quickly, and then I'm going to have to go.
Okay, so quickly, Alejandro.
Yes, well, this will be just a recommendation or for the MDP SAC, and
Yeah.
is that I've been pushing like the work together for a while, and it will be very interesting if we have a little bit more support directly from the leadership of the programs, like to have the students saying like, hey, you can like talk to these people, this is the SAC, this is how it's working. And also from the SDSN, if there was someone to support Lucia, that could be a link between SDSN, the students, the directors, and the alumni, like someone that can articulate that work a little bit better, because I think that would support us a lot.
Great. Let me say, by the way, if you in this meeting can canvass ideas like this of what more we should be doing, how to be doing it, what kind of support, and so on, that would be hugely helpful for me. I'm, every day with foundations, donors, others, not necessarily easy to pry resources out of them, but that's my job also, which is to try to make sure that we have what we need to do what we should be doing. So it would be hugely helpful if coming out of this meeting, we have some specific recommendations of some additional opportunities or needs or regional meetings, or let's do this, or let's have student exchange or other things, because I promise you we'll at least make the attempt to get the the resources to be able to carry that out.
Thank you. Yeah,
Great.
it's very important like for us to feel heard and like seeing like all
Yep.
us as Sachs. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. It's great to see everybody together, and I'll be looking for these recommendations. I'm really excited about the book, by the way, because we really need that. It's path-breaking and incredibly timely. And I think the university leaders around the world are very interested in knowing these lessons, by the way. So I think the timeliness is fantastic. Thanks to everybody, and we'll take care. Have a great meeting, and we'll be together soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Prof. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, wow, that was really good. And I'm recording this so that I don't want to miss anything. And then I can transcribe and put the notes together. But anyway, this was really great. So let us continue the conversation. I mean, and I think Nnamdi, you have your the leadership of SAC here, and I'm sure that we're going to present regionally. So let's continue along those lines.
All right. Thank you very much, Lucia. Thanks and welcome everyone to this very important meeting. This is like the first or the second in this year. Student and Alumni Advisory Council is a body, is a platform where students of the MDP and alumni come together to share ideas, to network among themselves, to share prospects on how best to promote the MDP and also to contribute to humanity in terms of development. So far, we've increased interconnections amongst MDP programs. You have a lot of students from this university having collaborations with other universities. We've had sources of information, from secretariat to students and alumni through our newsletters. And we've had various meetings by the regions. And so for us at SAC, we have been able to promote some sort of deepening of the MDP community that exists. But there's more to be done. There's more support to be needed from the secretariat. There's more interest that needs to be exacted from the faculty. And also the new students need to be nudged on, needs to be shown the pathway of what SAC stands for and how best they can contribute to make the community useful and impactful in the world. Because we have so much to do in the SDGs, the SAC community needs to be encouraged, needs to do more. Students and alumni needs to be reminded of their place in history and what they can do to make society better. We have our regional leaders here. The SAC is at 3 levels. We have the school-based leadership, we have the regional leadership, and then we have the global leadership. The school-based leadership is for the leaders at the different programs. The regional leadership is SAC, the different leaders from the school programs meeting at the regional levels to promote the MDP community among them. And then the global leadership. We have some regional leaders here who may want to introduce themselves so that if there are MDP students here who may not know their leaders, they can use this opportunity to know who they are. Lucia, can we have a minute or two to see the regional leaders so they can have their students get to know them?
Yes.
So if you are, the regional leaders, if you're here, please introduce yourselves so your students within your region can know you.
Valentina.
Hello, everyone. My name is Valentina Bravo Jara. I am the chair lead of the European MDP, and I am a master student at Lund University in Sweden, in the southern part of Sweden. And I have mostly experience within the social sphere of sustainable development, being involved in reading promotion projects and hunger project that strives for zero hunger. And now I'm working at Amnesty International. And in the European region, we have been focusing mainly on maintaining our website and having a monthly web newsletter and making sure that students and alumni have the opportunity to share their thoughts and their work on our website. And it's been working fine. Recently, we have a student that reached out from Dublin to share her work with us. So it's very exciting.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Dalila. And drop your email or contact info. So your name and then region, email. Dalila.
Thank you, Lucia. Hi, everyone. This is Dalila Hussein. I'm the co-chair for North America chapter, along with Kate and Alejo here on the call. And as I'm studying at the University of Minnesota, and I'm an international student from Egypt, excited about the Egyptian COP coming up very soon that Professor Jeff just mentioned. For the North America chapter, we're currently crowding on our network. We're welcoming new students and picking up the momentum of the network because it was a little slower during the summer for practicums. We are currently trying to get UNSDSN funding to be able to do more activities across and to capitalize on the opportunities we have. And we're also brainstorming ideas we can engage with the network regionally and also hopefully globally. We will be streaming the COP through our Twitter handle because we have students going. So I'll also put that in the chat and follow us, please, for that. And yeah, thank you for having us all here, Lucia.
Thank you. Aniket.
Good evening, all leaders. I am Aniket Clayton, a current MDP student from Terry School of Advanced Studies, Delhi from India. I am currently the co-chair for the Central and South Asia for SAC. With SAC, my goal has been to focus more on community building, networking, and collaboration amongst young development professionals, which is, I feel, the key to collective action towards climate mitigation. We from Terry have initiated a pilot platform on Discord for collaboration. However, as we have been saying this in this meeting as well, we want to establish a platform for every student incoming and outgoing through the program to have the ability to share and promote ideas through the MDP Global Network. So in accordance with this, we have also been working and speaking about the diversity of the global MDP. And our initiative has been through the medium of podcasts where we have been speaking to faculty, students, and alumni at the same time to bring about the outreach that this network deserves. Thank you. I'll be sharing my details in the chat for any further conversations.
Thank you. Janet?
Hello, everyone. It's good to have everyone around. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Janet Oladile. I'm a fresh Global MDP student. I'm the regional chair, African regional chair. For Africa, presently, we are holding meetings, especially towards the projects we have at hand and the projects for the coming year. A lot of projects at hand. So in South Africa, they're rounding up their second semester session. Senegal is presently in their first semester. And a lot is going on in Nigeria, even during our 8-month-long strike that was on. And thankfully, we resumed this week at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. And the projects that have been going on, we've started with 2. One is called Garden in the Bus Africa. It's a social enterprise that aims to eliminate hunger in Nigeria and across Africa. And the mission is to promote availability and access to a stable supply of safe and nutritious food through household community organic vegetable gardening. That is the mission. Right now, we just started with few schools, secondary schools, but especially the girls' schools. And we've empowered them with the GABA's kits, the Garden in the Bus starter kit. We're giving them knowledge and skills to cultivate their own garden, their own food gardens. That's as we give them the enablement to cultivate their own food and earn an income and build capacity for others, especially within their communities. We're also planning to respond to a few girls in the IDP camps. We're awaiting some funds. We have also started another project and an innovation called Waste Innovation, designing the future without waste. It aims to accelerate circular economy and sustainable development by increasing awareness of environmental sustainability through deliberate and creative youth engagement and empowerment program. We believed that as an for an initiative to be sustainable, it has to actively engage the youth as they are the future. Presently, the conference is coming up before the end of the month, and is a challenge that involves 10 schools. They will come up with bringing up beautiful things with waste. That is the challenge, and it's coming up before the end of this month. That is what we're working on right now. I don't know if there's time to permit the project officer to share with us the little overview of the challenge.
Okay.
Shokwe, are you here?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you
Okay.
so much. So just for the sake of time, Mariana.
Hello, yes. Hello, my name is Mariana Reyes. I'm the co-chair for the East Asia region, currently studying my PhD in National Taiwan University. I've been with MDP actually since my master's here in National Taiwan University. Currently here, we're very, very, very busy. Other than the social science part, we're actually more into integrating social science and how can science be used for achieving sustainable development. We have two ongoing projects. One is called Smart Campus. Basically, it's towards using appropriate technology or cost-effective technology for health and to also to improve the air quality of our campus here in National Taiwan University. One good thing about it is that it's a very low-cost way to produce, since we are utilizing our semiconductor industry here in Taiwan. Second is that one of our students is heading the Love Binti project. She's currently also doing her PhD. It's a project focusing on public health in Uganda, helping create stoves that are also very sustainable and also produce clean air. Integrating these two things, one is smart technology, and also not only sharing it within Taiwan, but also sharing it towards other countries such as Uganda, is very important in achieving sustainable development. We do value on public health, science, and all these sustainable developments. And a little about myself, my research interest is currently about nature-based solutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Lisa, just one more, just a round off before I yield the floor. For some time, for a few months now, at SAC, we've been having conversations about how best to translate the knowledge we have from the classroom and from field experiences to real life situations, to solve real life situations. And then we've come up with the idea of a platform that will bring together MDP students and alumni from different regions to collaborate on common projects in alignment with the future that we want, as highlighted by Professor Jeffrey Sachs, which includes economic prosperity, social justice, environmental sustainability, and global peace. And we are using the platform called Development Practitioners Without Borders. Development Practitioners Without Borders. This will be an opportunity for alumni, especially of the MDP, to translate, to practicalize what they've learned from the classroom and the field, to solve societal problems, to solve humanities problems. And hopefully by next year, it will be up and running. We want to encourage our faculty members to get their students to be in tune with this upcoming project. The pilot stage will be starting from Africa, and we hope that other regions will adopt and ensure that their students and alumni get involved in this whole process that will put the MDP community in the global map, of solving developmental challenges in the world. And I also, faculty directors, we hope that you get your students, your new students, availed with what is happening at SAC, get them involved, let them know that SAC exists, and help them reach out to their regional leaders so that as we build the community, because what we've achieved in the past 1 or 2 years is a community of trust. We have built trust amongst ourselves. We have built a closely knitted community. And so we need to build on this by getting new students to be involved in what is happening. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Namdi. We will be sending information again on how to contact the SAC leaders, but it's a good opportunity for you to get to know them. Then quickly, as a global association, we also try to bring projects to you and or the students. So one project that one of our MDP alumni has been working on, I think is of interest. So Amira, can you quickly just share what you've been doing and and how people can get involved if they're interested. Amira?
Yes, Lucia, thank you so much. So hi everyone, greetings from Egypt. And so during the past couple of months, I've been working with SAC leaders and of course with Lucia and trying to get us a slot at COP in different venues, COP27 this November. But what we have reached so far is that we are communicating with UNFCCC to do a partnership with them so that our students in the MTP program could do their field practicum on research topics that are related to climate adaptation, mainly, especially in the Global South. And so they have provided us with specific areas of interests for them to cover for each specific region across the world. And so Lucia has sent out email, I think, to all our network of universities so that they can show interest in whichever topic they can work on. And so right now we have really received interest from several universities. And right now I'm preparing for a meeting with a representative from UNFCCC, and I'm gonna ask for having also our programs advisors and professors so that we can take it from there and arrange the coming steps, because we've been communicating to them that our upcoming field practicum is this summer in 2023, starting May. And so that's where the time that we're gonna prepare for our field practicum. Lucia, please, if I've missed anything, just please add it, and I'm here if there's any questions.
No, just thank you so much, Amir, for your hard work and bringing that opportunity to us. She was really, and she has been at the forefront of getting us to COP. She worked also very, very hard on that. That hasn't worked out, but it did, because it got us on the map. It got us in front of leaders at COP, and they know who we are. And by the time they agreed to something, and they did agree to something, they agreed to have representation at COP by the alumni, it was too late. It was, 3 days or so to fly out to Egypt, and that was just not going to be possible. But let's move on. So again, thank you, Mira, and thank you, SAC, for everything you're doing. And I want to hear from the faculty. I know that, the faculty is, maybe have comments. I want it to be an open sort of conversation. I've been having conversations with many of you. There's still some that are coming, and I've been learning a lot. One of the big sort of words for me that comes out of the conversations is resilience. Resilience. Frankly speaking, when I went into the conversation with many of our MDP leaders, I was concerned. I was concerned because of COVID, the pandemic, and everything else that's happening around the world. I thought, okay, the state, how is the health of our MDP programs? Are they continuing? Do they even have students? And by golly, it was really, it was really nice to hear that, we're moving forward. Actually, some are even growing, but, stop hearing from me. I was accompanied on those calls by Pori Carmody and Glenn Galloway, and I would love for them to share their perspective on what they've been learning.
Glenn, do you want to go first, or shall I? Okay. So just to echo, I suppose, what Lucia was saying, I mean, COVID was a kind of pause, interruption, I suppose, for all of us in all sorts of different ways. And it's been great over the last couple of weeks to reconnect with the MDP programs. And one of the things I've taken from the conversations is the enthusiasm in the network still, and that shared vision and commitment that we all have. So we all believe in sustainability, gender equity, equality more generally, and that passion and vision is shared right across the network. And there's so much energy and enthusiasm and commitment across the network. And that's really what comes through to me from this meeting and from the meetings that we've been having with the individual programs across the world, as Lucia was saying. I think there's a real energy in the network and desire to work more collaboratively. So when I kind of reflect on the things that our students have been doing, you know, working in conflict zones or publishing book chapters or journal articles or doing all sorts of other amazing and really important activities, we, I think, feel that there's an opportunity there to leverage, you know, all of the work that's being done and have a greater impact through closer collaboration. And again, there's an appetite from talking to the different programs to do that. And different programs have different strengths. Some have, you know, really innovative field programs that could be models for the rest of the network. We're talking to them about that. Others have huge numbers of student applications. So I know Lund, for example, gets more than 1,000 applications a year. And how do we tap into that kind of enthusiasm and latent potential of that 1,000 students? Lund, I think, only take 20 students. So there's 980 or more students who still want to study these issues and can make a contribution to sustainable development. So how, as we, as a network, can we access that kind of latent market potential enthusiasm that's there? So those are the kinds of discussions that we've been having. I think the book project is a really nice way to bring the network together and to have a kind of collaborative output and to showcase all of the amazing work that has been done over the last 10 or 12 years. But in a sense, we're still at the beginning of this and learning, but now is a good time to reflect on what we have done, what we have achieved, and how we can do it better and work more closely together to have even more impact through our students and through other kind of mechanisms and modalities. So I think that's it from me.
Thank you, Padraig. Glenn?
Well, I think I would just echo some of the words that have been used here by Padraig and yourself. Enthusiasm that we've seen, the resilience, the commitment. I think I might add, there's been a lot of innovation across the programs, and the innovation is what has permitted a lot of the programs to weather this storm that we've all lived through, the pandemic, and also, it seems like, at least in North America, there's a greater proportion of the students are from international origins. That's something I mean, we haven't like done a formal study into that, but it's quite interesting that the international interest in the MDP programs in North America, it's really grown. So yeah, I'm really quite interested in some of these things that are happening in the region. But again, you know, I'm very excited about seeing all the work that the alumni are involved in, the updates by the SAC, you know, and also the work that Amira is doing to identify opportunities. I think we're in a different place than we were 12 years ago, for sure. We have over 6,000 alumni around the world. So at this point, we really have opportunities to build off this incredible potential that we have. And, you know, just to give an example, I mean, these are, you know, small examples, but today I have, you know, a graduate from our program. She's in charge of monitoring, evaluation, and learning for the Nature Conservancy in Latin America. She's going to patch into our class and talk about her work and analysis of information from participatory methods. But this is just one tiny example of the things that are going on that wouldn't have been possible even 5 or 6 years ago. So I think we hope to build on this enthusiasm, but also enthusiasm based in the reality of the potential that we have as a global network. So yeah, I was very pleased to take part in these calls with Lucia, because it was a way to get a you know, a perspective of what's going on across the programs, and yeah, there's a lot of exciting work going on.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to take just a really quick few minutes, and I think give the opportunity to our new MDP directors to just say their name, their academic institution, maybe their focus. I'm going to start with Suvik.
Hi, Lucia. Thanks for this opportunity. My name is Dr. Shovik Chakraborty. I am a lecturer of human geography at Monash University, Australia. I'm also the director of the MIDP program, Masters of International Development Practice. I can share a very good news with you all. We have a new program coming up with partnership with Tata Institute of Social Sciences. And we are expecting the students here in our campus in Australia from February 2023. I have already spoken with Lucia on this. We'll talk through further once this program starts. Thank you for this opportunity, Lucia.
Yes, Suvik, I know can you mention your area of focus, interest?
Like my own research area?
Critical
deconstruction.
Yeah,
So I'm basically a political ecologist. So I research on social movements related to mining and politics of resource extraction.
Okay, good. Thank you. Another new MDP person we have is Thamali Kitsiri. Thamali, are you there? Thank you.
Yes. Can you hear me, Lucia?
Yes, yes. Or maybe not. Okay, well, Thamali is
okay. Hi everyone. I'm Thamali Kitsiri.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm sorry about my connection. I'm Thamali Kitsiri. I'm from Sri Lanka. I'm the coordinator for Master of Development Practice at the Peradeniya University of Peradeniya. So our program is actually, it's highly interdisciplinary program where we actually touch upon sustainable development to economic development. And currently we have 15 students who are doing their masters in development practices. Anything else, Lucia?
No, that's good. Thank you. Well, Thamali is also the regional lead on the academic steering committee. So, so we're really appreciative of that. One more person that I see that's kind of new, has been with us for a while, but we really haven't heard from him. Jit Ern Chen from Sunway University. Jit, can you please introduce yourself and welcome to the family.
Hi, Lucia. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Chen Jiten from Sunway University, and I'm the head of the Jeffrey Sachs Center on Sustainable Development here. And the program that we're running, it's part of the MDP, but it's got a different name for local legal reasons. So it's called the Masters in Sustainable Development Management. In our case, it's based off the backbone in theory as a competitor to the various MBA programs that exist here. So our focus for the program is a bit more on the financial economic side as opposed to the scientific side. I myself, I'm a plant scientist, so my expertise is in algae research. So I work on coral reef bleaching from the perspective of the algae. I work on the control of algae in water, drinking water ponds, I should say. So sources of water that Malaysian governments and companies use as drinking water sources. Right? So those are the things that I teach and the things I research on locally. So yes, I think the last time I met many of you, I remember Glenn and Lucia, that was in New Delhi, if I remember correctly, the last big conference. So it's been a while since I've seen all of you in person, and hope to see all of you again next year, June, you said, right, this year?
Yes, June 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay, looking forward to this, yeah.
Okay, so just quickly, we definitely are going to wrap this up. Before I move on, is there anybody else that would like to introduce themselves that I have overlooked?
Yeah,
okay.
Professor Jimo has his hand up. Professor Jimo, the new director for Nigeria, he has his hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Professor Jimo. Yes, Professor Jimo. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Labode, for pointing that out. Professor Jimo, go ahead. You have the floor.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, Professor Jimo, you're going in and out. We can't hear you. Well, we can't hear you, really. Oh, that's too bad. Okay. Okay. When you come back on board, we'll be here. But just quickly, reminders, really. Okay, so reminders, as Professor Chen has reminded us. Professor Jimo, once you're on, just connect, okay? Interrupt, it's okay, because we definitely want to hear from you. We can't hear you.
Hello.
Okay, we're hearing you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure for this opportunity to be in the family of the Global MDP. I'm a relatively new director of MDP at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. Just to share a few of our recent experiences in the prosecution of our program. Because of the global inflation, and that is also happening in Nigeria, the COVID that we had in 2020, 2021, and up to now, our international field trip is a bit receding. Last year, 2021, we couldn't proceed on the international field trip. Students paid their fees, but by the time we were to proceed on the fee trip, inflation had already caught up on the fees paid. So we had to resort to local fee trip. This year, we are on the plan again. We intend to go to Rwanda with our students. A similar problem that we had last year is rearing its head, but we are trying to one way or the other get around it. Hopefully, we'll be able to proceed on the fee trip this year. The long period of strike in the country, which was just suspended last year, also somehow affected our program. However, we have overcome that. The schools have resumed, and lectures are starting since last week. For this year, enrollments on our programs have been so discouraging. So far, we have less than 10 students, but graciously, the postgraduate college in our university has approved a re-advertisement of several programs, not only our MDP programs at the postgraduate level. We are hopeful that from that, we'll get more students. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. I look forward to meeting the family in Dublin next year. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Sachs, and I look forward to meeting you in person as well. So thank you, everybody. So quickly, just another reminder, the MDP Summit is in June 6th, 7th, and 8th. Mark your calendars. If there are folks, if you have interest in certain topics, just send me an email because we will begin to create sort of task forces, and we'll start working on making sure that there's representation of your topic of interest on the program. Then there is, you have seen probably many emails on this World Travel Tourism Conference in Saudi Arabia. I guess the bad thing was that we could only focus on students that were 18 to 26. Many of our MDP students, most I would say, are not between 18 and 26, but we did have some. So we were able this morning to send the list of 100 to Saudi Arabia, and now the Ministry of Tourism will look over the list and approve or not approve. Right now, they're all sub-finalists, I guess, and so we want them to move to finalists, but they will take that decision. If this happens, the reason I'm sharing this with you is if it happens, actually it'll be the first time where we will have over 40 students, MDP students who fit that category of 18 to 26 meeting in one place. I will also be attending, so I do look forward to that. And I'll make sure that there's some kind of meeting where all these MDP students, come together. So that's really exciting. And then, and that's it. That's really it. If there's anybody who wants to add something, comment, now is your opportunity before we close.
James, did you introduce the UBC?
Thank you. James, yes, no, he didn't. He's James. Thank you so
Sorry,
much.
I haven't had my coffee yet. It's nice to see everybody. I'm not that new personally. I did my Masters of Development Practice in Australia at James Cook University in 2011, and now I coordinate the Master of International Forestry as an MDP program at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. And we put a sort of forestry lens, or a forest lens on sustainable development. And it's really about the power of place for us, because we are in a province in Canada that is heavily forested and dealing with all sorts of issues around sustainable development of those forests. I guess I would say my personal research interests have always been around sort of similar ones. Who just mentioned political ecology of investments. That's really been my background. Political ecology of investments in forest landscapes that are going through transition. So investments in things like mining, oil palm estate crops, infrastructure development, sort of development corridors. We've had an interest in the Belt and Road Initiative, and most of my research has been in Indonesia and in South and Southeast Asia. And so it's a pleasure to meet you, and a pleasure to be back in the group. And I'll have my coffee shortly and be more awake. So.
Thank you for being with us. I know it's very early there, and thank you, Glenn, for making sure that he spoke up. Thank you.
Oh,
yes,
I do have one question, and this is that we've mentioned the COP a lot, but there's another COP, and that's coming up in Montreal, and that's the CBD COP. And I'm wondering if there's a group of the delegation, or if anybody's attending that COP for folks interested in biodiversity.
Okay. It hasn't been on our radar with James, but definitely this is something to look into. When is it, do you know?
It's from December 7th through the 19th in Montreal. The high level segment is right in the middle of those dates. But I'll be going for the first half of that time with a bunch of our students.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Okay, definitely something to keep in mind. North America, you're near, you're here. Let's see if we can, get something together.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so everybody, this has been really, really good. This is a little bitty taste of what it is to have the MDP Summit, even though the MDP Summit is more intense because we'll be together for literally 3 days. And so when I say mark your calendars, definitely plan to be there the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and then leaving on the 10th. Okay, usually because we haven't seen each other in a long time, almost 2-3 years, so that means that we will definitely use that time, and we are going to work hard to make sure that there's interesting sessions there for you. Everything will be from content areas to even the curriculum itself. We'll have discussions on the curriculum itself, and recruitment issues like recruitment, the logistics, all of that. Everything is we will be covering. So start planning and hope to see you there. Now, before we close, any last words from the chair of one of the co-chairs of the Academic Steering Committee? Porg?
Just to thank everyone for coming to this. I think it's as Lucia said, it's a little taster. It's great to see everyone. It's great to see the MDP network expanding and new members joining. And we're kind of rebooting after the pandemic, and we look forward to welcoming you all to Dublin to be part of that, for us to evolve and to grow and to strengthen ourselves and to work on our collaborative projects. So hope to see you in June in Dublin. Thanks.
Hey, okay. Namdi, last word, quickly.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the support to SAC and also to our new faculty directors. Please try to connect your students with the regional leaders in your region. Very important, so that for some way, for Monash and Peradenia, we need the students to get involved in what is happening in SAC. Try to connect with the regional leaders within your region so that your students will not be left behind.
Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. Good day, good evening, good night. And we will be in communication soon. My newsletter will be coming up. I didn't publish one last month, but because I was so busy, but I will do it for this month. And yes, I do need help. So I'm looking for an intern, 10 hours a week. And we're in the process of hiring. So you should see things moving much quicker once that intern comes on board. In the meantime, have a good day, enjoy, and again, thank you for being here and coming and supporting us.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Parag.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you,
Thank you,
Bye.
Lucia.
Bye. Thank
No
you,
problem.
Lucia.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Okay. Yadira, where are you? Which MDP are you from?
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Great question. Great question.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm UF Florida and Gainesville.
Oh, very
MDP.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
Sustainable development, yes.
Excellent. And what's your?
We've known each other for over 20 years, Lucia.
Oh my goodness.
I am
Oh,
from
small world.
Honduras, yeah.
From
When Glenn
Honduras.
was there.
Okay. Oh
When
my
Glenn-
goodness. Oh,
I'm a
very good.
forester. Yeah, I used to
Found
work as
our
a
own
forester,
organization.
community forestry. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Great to see you.
Great
And
to
great
see
to meet you.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you know, your lovely smile caught my attention. I was there smiling, intently looking. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
She's
Thank
our
you.
graduate assistant here. Her office is right next to mine. She's doing what she's been told to do.
Oh, this is good. Well, thank you. Really helps.
Yeah,
Very
yeah. I
supportive.
hope I can help more than I have been. Thanks.
Thank you.
I think we're going to stay for a while, and after we're
Bye,
gonna,
everybody.
yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Dilipi. Where are you from? Dilipa? Which can't hear you. Can't hear you. No. Yeah.
Headset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm Dilip Gamagi. I'm from Sri Lanka.
Oh,
I've
okay.
completed my MDP at University of Peradeniya
Okay,
in
good.
2019. And I work as a development practitioner, development facilitator at World Vision Sri Lanka.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you for being here with us.
For 9 years. Yes. So I'm so happy to join. I just returned from work.
Okay. Okay.
So I only joined the latter part of the meeting, but I will definitely do the recording.
Okay.
And also, since I got the opportunity to talk, I would just I just would like to know about what is the next step after MDP, because I completed in 2019. I'm eager to learn more about international development and get involved in development.
Yes.
So,
And Dilip, I'm curious to know, when you ask that question, do you mean are you thinking in terms of upskilling? Is that what, now you're in the field, it's been 3 years more or less, and you're in the field, you're working as a development practitioner. Do you feel that there's a need to upskill as well?
yes, that's true.
Ah, okay. Okay. No, this is good. And that is one of the next steps. We are working on professional certificates. For example, specifically focus on the SDGs and the relationship of whatever field it is you're working on to the SDGs and that SDG agenda. So we're working on creating opportunities like that, where students, our alumni, can participate in these professional certificates.
Excellent. Very good to hear about that.
Okay. Well, good to meet you. Really, really good.
Good to meet you too.
Okay, and
Have a great day.
has the
So-
monsoon, have the rain stopped?
Oh, not yet. Occasionally raining. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well,
So-
stay dry. I'll try to stay dry. Okay, Dilipa, this is great. Thank you for being with us. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dilipa.
You're welcome, Namdi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. I guess maybe some people don't know that the meeting has ended.
Okay, so what I'll do is, let me see. Let me see. I will, should I call you, Namdi? Do you have a few
Yes, please.
minutes?
Yeah,
Should I
I
call
do.
you on WhatsApp?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.